Hi, marketers. This is Dots, and welcome to the Marketing Leadership Podcast. In what is called an exclusive episode, I have here joined me, Dave Kerpen, co-founder and executive chairman at The Apprentice. Dave is a serial entrepreneur, New York Times best-selling author, global keynote speaker, investor, writer for Inc.com, and to me, one of the greatest digital marketing thought leaders of our time. We will be talking about taking likable brands from growth to purpose. I know you guys are ready for this, so let's do it. Dave, it's the honor of a lifetime having you on this podcast. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for your kind words. That's you really made my day.
Absolutely. So, do you want to tell those who don't already know you a bit about yourself, your background, your role, and things you're doing at the moment?
Sure. I'll try to be brief because I don't want to take up your whole show, but I'm a serial entrepreneur and author. So I like to start companies, build companies, and write books about my experiences. And started a number of companies, but most notably, Likable was a firm that started with my wife that we sold 2 years ago to a global consultancy for 8 figures. And now I'm focused on Apprentice, which is a marketplace that connects entrepreneurs and business leaders with top college talent in the world. And I've written a bunch of books from Likable social media to the art of people to my next book about delegation, Get Over Yourself. Most important, I am a father and husband. So I work only from 9 to 3, and then I take care of my kids after 3 p.m.
That's good. I work till 3 as well. The only difference is I start early as 5. So I'm working on it. I'll catch up with you. Okay, so in terms of, again, you've had a fantastic community of marketers and entrepreneurs. I'm just curious, in all your decades of experience, what are some of the things that you've learned from your community that you found, not just impactful for them, but impactful for yourself as well?
Yeah. First of all, I've been at this a long time when people are so talking about decades of experience. In other words, I'm super old. I get it. Um, I, I, um, I've learned so much, and I learn more every day. I think it's so ironic because when I was 22, I thought I knew everything, and the older I've gotten, the less I've realized how little I actually know and how much learning I still have to go. But I would um, actually, one of my core principles is that everyone can be both a student and a teacher. Everyone can be both a mentor and a mentee. And therefore, everyone has something to learn and something to teach. And so I look at every single person that I encounter, every single person that I meet as an opportunity to learn from them. I was telling you right before the show that I do office hours every Thursday and meet with anyone in the world that wants to meet with me. I met yesterday with two members of my community that have read my books. One was a Togolese American working in the army, Texas, to get enough money to help support his wife get a visa and move from Togo to America. Unbelievably brilliant and inspiring young man. And then right after that, I met a 17-year-old British doctor who uh, was building a TikTok following and had 160,000 TikTok followers, which and like 24 million views, which is just amazing. Because I used to fashion myself as a knowledgeable social media marketer, and now what do I know about
I
TikTok?
know we've got TikTok, yeah.
you know, but yeah, I think we all have something to learn. We all have something to teach. I have learned through the years that there's so much more value, even in marketing, in listening than in talking. It's just listening is so much more valuable than talking.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I guess something else that you mentioned there also is you meet a lot of people, and so you see how diverse people can be, even in the terms of the way they think about marketing. So that's really great. Coming from looking at me as an immigrant as well. So that's good. um,
The world is so big and we are so small. We are each such a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of the world. And so, yeah, I just every day is a new opportunity to meet people and learn and listen. Shut up and listen, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think some of the things you also be learning from them is the entrepreneurial spirit, which leads me to my next question, right? I feel like if you need to make a brand likable or take it from, growth and all this hard stuff, KPIs, to purpose or to, building the brand the way you want it to be done, what does it take to have that entrepreneurial spirit as a marketer to say, I'm here for the long haul. Whatever I'm doing as a strategy is a long game.
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's really hard. I'm gonna talk a big game now, but I know there's people listening that are out there um, working their butts off, trying to figure out how to drive revenue. And I want to be clear in the beginning, um, got to be scrappy, and you got to figure out like key stuff like conversion rates and,
Yeah.
and closing deals and getting revenue in the door. You got to figure that out.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm going to answer your question, but to be clear, you said long term, and I'm thinking long term, lifetime building a brand. In the beginning, this stuff doesn't pay the bills, so
Yeah.
you got to be careful, right? So listen to me, but make sure you're also paying the bills first. So that being said, in terms of long term brand and reputation, for me, um, that's more important, and I've already done. Fortunately for me, the work of getting the the, the the customers in the door and the revenue. But for me, about building long term brands, about listening, it's about transparency, it's about authenticity, it's about kindness, it's about the platinum rule:
Mm.
do unto others as they would want done to
That's
themselves.
right.
About really just being um there for your customers and there for your prospects and there for your employees. A big part of building a brand is not just the marketing to um, customers and prospects, but to your own employees, to your own team, and building that brand
Yeah.
of whatever it is that you stand for. And hopefully, some of those core values of transparency and authenticity, kindness, empathy, um, uh, listening, gratitude, some of these core values resonate with you, and you can build a purposeful brand that stands for something bigger. Um, you don't necessarily have to have all of those core values, but you have to
Yeah.
choose one or two that you can be proud of and you can live by, that will resonate with other humans on the other side of the fence. Because I think marketing is often, fairly enough, about conversions and clicks and sales and dollars. I get it. But marketing, purposeful marketing, building a true long lasting brand is about core values
Mm.
and knowing that your customers aren't just customers, prospects aren't just prospects, they're human beings.
Yeah. I one of the core values that I spotted just from you speaking here is authenticity or honesty, right? What I would have imagined is, let's say I'm Dave, and it's like, yeah, I gotta sell my book, so I'm all gonna talk about the brand. But you said at the beginning, it's important to grow. However, you need to grow. It has to be scrappy. It has to be hands-on, rolling your sleeves. No fluff. Just get your stuff done. And then as you grow, whatever that KPI looks like, then you can work on some of the other things that Dave had mentioned. So thanks for sharing that, um, uh, clarifying the point. If I will use that language, one other quality that I would like us to discuss is self confidence, right? I think growing brands that are likable, um, you know, includes a lot of self confidence. Take my podcast for example. What I do in marketing, like there's no, I have a great goal from my background and everything to do the things I do, and I try to attract the goals of marketing like you guys. So that I believe there was a bit of confidence in that. But from your own businesses and your experiences, how did self confidence play a role in a way whereby you are able to function as your own, you are able to compete as a brand without feeling threatened by other brands or trying to compare yourself to them?
Yeah, well, first of all, let me say it's hard, and it's harder for some than others, but it's really hard for all of us, every single one of us.
Yeah.
I've never, ever,
Mm.
ever met one single person, no matter how successful or rich they were, that did not suffer to one extent or another from imposter syndrome. So no matter who you are, I promise, sometimes you think that you aren't legit and you don't belong there. And I feel it all the time. And so So I appreciate that you think I come across as self-confident, and I do think I often come across as confident, but I promise you, I have imposter syndrome and feel like a fraud lots of the time. And unfortunately, I play that same and compare myself to people like Gary Vaynerchuk, fill in the blank. I mean, everyone does. Everyone does.
Mm.
So, and by the way, women suffer from this more than men. Women are actually far more competent than men, and yet they are, as a rule of thumb, less confident than men. It's kind of funny because men
Yeah,
are actually more confident, but they don't actually shouldn't be because they're not.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
well,
absolutely.
I think nobody likes arrogance, but nobody likes lack of self-confidence either. So we have to put our best foot forward. We have to believe in ourselves. If we don't believe in ourselves to one extent or another, then other people are not going to believe in us. So we have to feel the fear that comes with imposter syndrome that we all feel. I get it, feel it, and have the courage to proceed in the face of fear. It's the definition of courage, and believe in ourselves and go for it. And that's, of course, the definition of self-confidence.
I like that. And I like the example as well. You're very right. On this podcast, we've had the writer of a book called The Tao of Self-Confidence. I think she's the biggest Asian marketing lady globally. And she mentioned the same thing. Women are capable, but there's just that imposter syndrome. So, and thanks for sharing your honesty around that as well. I think it's basically, if you're very convinced of what you want to do, especially as a marketer, just dive into it. Fear is worse than failure. That was something I heard recently as well. So that's great. Okay, we've been discussing very serious stuff, but I'd like to have some fun with you, Dave. Okay, it's called the Dots Rapid Fire, and you have 3 questions. You're going to say the truth and nothing but the truth because you're in the marketing court of law. Are you ready?
You got it.
Okay. First question: what is your best marketing or business KPI? And I don't want sales or revenue because that's a lazy answer.
Revenue. NPS, how about NPS, promoter score? That's how happy
Yeah,
customers really are with you or your employees.
everybody's driving that these days. The second question: how long do you use social media every day? Hardly ever, I would imagine.
No, I still I do some Instagram scrolling. I'd say half an hour.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's not bad. That's not bad. Third question: what is your favorite marketing quote? It could be business quote as well, but if you have marketing, good.
Yeah, I think it's both business and marketing. It's from Seth Godin.
Okay.
How dare you
Mm.
settle for less when the world has made it so easy to be remarkable?
Wow. And that ties into what we're talking about with confidence. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Remarkable, stand out, go for it. It's like every people are very scared out there. A lot of everyone. And the winners are those that are able to be courageous and face that.
Absolutely. I love it. I would like to discuss something else again. I guess connected to your quotes, connected to the topic, is connected in different ways. And that is your view on ethical marketing practices, right? I remember you mentioned recently that confidence, there's a thin line between being confident and being arrogant, but there's also a thin line between helping businesses truly with marketing and doing questionable things, as a marketer or a business leader. What are some of these things that you've seen and you're like, oh no, you shouldn't be doing this? As a not just a marketer, but as a business person, you've got some marketing examples. Why not?
Well, here's my biggest unethical one, and it's illegal as well. And I don't really get how companies could still do this. It's the email or the text marketing doesn't have opt-outs. It's really gross. I mean, it's horrible. And illegal, of course, and definitely unethical. And it started off in email, and email just was completely destroyed by, really bad marketers. And now it's in texting. I mean, I cannot, my phone is a miss with
Yeah, I can
text
imagine.
messages and phone calls that I do not want from
Yeah,
organizations that I do not know who they are, and I do not want them to reach out to me. And it's just
yeah,
really, it's really brand destroying. So my pitch to anyone that's watching or listening is if you are engaging in any of these unethical practices and illegal practices of reaching out to people without permission and without an opt out, okay, you can email somebody once, But if you don't have an opt-out, it is illegal. You have to have an easy opt-out. That, to me, is like my number one pet peeve. So beyond that, be honest. Just tell the truth. It's not,
Yeah.
in marketing and in sales, immature / amateur marketers and salespeople stretch the truth in order to get a sale or a conversion or fill in the blank, some sort of next step.
Mm.
But it doesn't make sense, because if you're not meeting a need, then in the long run, it won't work. And so, got to think long game, whether you're a salesperson or a marketer, like try to meet a need, fill a pain, like solve a problem. That's why I love entrepreneurship. It's about solving problems. But sometimes I think
Yeah.
marketers and salespeople lose sight of this and trying to get a KPI, get a skill. And it's like, all of a sudden they lose sight of that. So just when in doubt, be honest and make sure that whatever you're doing is a good fit for the person at the other end. That's really simple, but important.
I really hope it gets better, honestly. Dave, we could really go on and on with this, but you've given us great, great insights, great, great wisdom. I hope those listening will really, really enjoy all this that has been shared. But I would like to say one more time, where can aspiring marketing leaders find you? And then please tell us about your new book.
Of course. Thank you for asking. First and foremost, I mentioned my office hours earlier. I meet with anyone on the planet that wants to meet with me every Thursday afternoon. Go to scheduledave.com. That's scheduledave.com. You can book a time. Sometimes there's a long wait. Sometimes there isn't. Invite anyone that wants to chat anytime. If I can be helpful for you, please feel free. Other than that, you could Google me. You could look up Apprentice, chooseapprentice.com. All the books are on Amazon, of course, and in bookstores everywhere. My next one is called Get Over Yourself: How to Lead and Delegate More Effectively for More Time, More Freedom, and More Success. And I'm really excited about it because in talking to thousands and thousands of small business owners and entrepreneurs over the years, I've noticed the biggest thing that they struggle with is delegating to other people. And the way you really scale and build a life for yourself where you can go hang out with your kids after, whenever you want, basically, is to delegate. It's to summon up the courage to be able to give things to other people. And so that's what I've become more passionate about. And I'm hoping that book can help a lot of people get out of their own way and get over themselves and delegate better.
That's great. I know you're a family man as well, so I'll follow anything you say, Dave. All right, guys, that's all we have for today's episode. If you want to see more, it's at dotslovesmarketing.com. You don't like websites? No problem. Check your favorite podcast platforms on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Just search Marketing Leadership. They're starting to rank up little by little. I'd like to thank Death Creek, Listen Network, and Content Allies for their support each time. Till next episode, connect the dots.
Thank you for listening to the Marketing Leadership Podcast, brought to you by Dots Loves Marketing. There will be links to any resources mentioned in today's show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star review and be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.